Hello, welcome to this webinar about gamification. We're going to start in about 1 minute. And if you can hear me, maybe you can put in the chat where you're from, which country, and which city. I'm interested where you're all listening from. So I see Kelly from Dallas, Texas, in the United States. I see Miriam from Cairo in Egypt. Meslan Jemna from the USA. Another one from Egypt. I see Aniket from Mumbai, USA. Andrea from Switzerland. And Alexis from Canada. Jose from Portugal. Suev also from Mumbai. Pelin from Vienna, Austria. Amy from Ireland. Rolf from Germany. So people from all over the world. So that's great. I'll see also Adrian from the Netherlands. So that's a home game for me. Goedemiddag, Adrian. Now, this webinar is about gamification. I have to reschedule it 2 times. Way of family issues, but now I'm ready to give this webinar to you. So it's 2 minutes about 4 o'clock. So let's start. We are with a large group. If you have questions, you can ask them in the chat. I will try to answer them right away. And if it's not possible for me to answer them right away, then you can then I will answer them in the answer and questions section at the end of the webinar. So let's start with our webinar. Now, before we start, I will introduce myself for people who don't know me. I'm Mark Spermon. I'm a Dutch guy working in the e-learning industry since 2006. And besides giving advice on e-learning and making e-learning courses, I also love to share all my knowledge about Particulate Storyline that I've gained in the last 10 years. And today's topic is about gamification in Storyline. Now, enough about me, but let's see what we'll be covering today in this webinar. So the table of contents for this webinar is, we'll first gonna talk about what is gamification and also talk about what gamification is not. What are the benefits of gamification when you're gonna incorporate in your e-learning course? We're going to talk about game mechanics. We are going to talk about how Storyline does support gamification, and I'll have some examples from me and some examples from the Particulate community. And after that, we have all the time for questions and answers. So I'll take a sip of water and then we can begin. Welcome to everyone. Let's begin this webinar, because what is gamification in e-learning? There are a lot of definitions about gamification, and I've chosen this one. I think it's a definition that fits best. So what is gamification? It's the use of game-like mechanics and elements in educational content and learning environments to enhance learning engagement, motivation, and participation. Now, with educational content, you can imagine e-learning courses, and with learning environments, you can, for instance, see that are learning management systems. Now, a gamification involves taking elements that are commonly found in games, and the most common are points, levels, rewards, and incorporate them into educational context. It doesn't mean that we are gonna turn the learning in a full-fledged game, but rather using specific components that make games engaging and applying to the learning process. So the primary goal of gamification is to make the learning process more engaging and motivational. Now, now we all know what gamification is. Let's see what it is not to get a little bit of better understanding. Now, what is gamification not? It is not a game, and it's also not a buzzword. And gamification is not just about points and badges or leaderboards. Best is to think of gamification like adding a pinch of salt to your food or when you're gonna bake to your bakings, because it's not the main ingredient, but it makes everything taste better. So it's not about turning learning into gaming, it's about bringing in game mechanics and elements to enhance the learning process and make your online course more engaging and enjoyable. So don't let gamification steal the show of your e-learning course. The most important are the goal of your course and the learning objectives. So now we know what gamification is and what it is not. Let's zoom in on some of the benefits of gamification. So there are several benefits: increased engagement and motivation, improved knowledge retention, and also enhanced collaboration and competition. So by incorporate game mechanics like points, badges, leaderboards, learners feel a sense of accomplishment and are also motivated to continue engaging with the learning material. So this increases motivation and it leads to a more engaging and effective learning process. Now, the interactive and immersive nature of gamified learning helps people to remember things better. Now, when learning actively participate and interact with the learning content, they are more likely to remember concepts encountered in a fun and engaging way. And gamification also encourages repetition and practice, and I have an example of that later on, which further reinforces learning and promotes long-term retention. Now, the social elements, such as leaderboards and team challenges, foster community, collaboration, and healthy competition among learners by creating opportunities for learners to work together or to compete against each other. And gamification enhances the learning process, making it more enjoyable and effective. Now, collaborative and competitive elements can also help learners develop valuable soft skills such as teamwork, communication, and problem solving. These are benefits of gamification in whole. The third point of benefit is not directly related to the articulate storyline, because collaboration and team challenges and leaderboards are a challenge to incorporate that in articulate storyline. There are no standard functionalities for that. So this is not something I want to discuss in this webinar today, because it will be too technical to tackle today. Now we know what are the benefits. Let's see what are game mechanics. Now, game mechanics are the mechanics that you can use to gamify your e-learning content. And a game mechanic is a specific element or rule designed to produce an engaging gaming experience. You can see it as a building block of a game, governing how the game is played and what happens at different stages. Game mechanics are the procedures and methods that drive the gameplay forward and keeps players involved. And the most common game mechanics are points, badges, leaderboards, but there are more. So let's see what more game mechanics we have. So examples of game mechanics are scores. You can have ranks and levels, so people can, for instance, reach a higher level if they completed, for instance, a test with a certain amount of points in articulate storyline. You can also reward learners with badges or trophies if they complete something. Uh, now, team or individual tasks are game mechanics, but not team task is not something directly for articulate storyline. An individual task can be something. You have also unlocks. So, for instance, people must collect stuff. I can give an example. For instance, uh, a banker has to detect fraud in a company, and he has to require some documents. So first, he has one document. He has to ask the right questions uh, in the e-learning, and when he asks the right questions, he unlocks another document, so we can see if there was fraud in that company. Now, we have dashboards and progress bars. You can use avatars, also notifications, leaderboards, and course currency. So these are examples of game mechanics that you can use in e-learning, and scores, ranks and levels, badges, individual tasks, unlocks, progress bars, avatars, notifications, and course currency are the ones that you can also use in articulate storyline. So let's see how articulate storyline does support gamification. Now there are several things that you can use to gamify your e-learning course. So we have interactive elements. We can build clickable hotspots, also do something with drag and drop activities, and also with sliders. It doesn't mean that if you use a clickable hotspot, a drag and drop activity, or a slider, that your e-learning is gamified in an instance, but I will have examples coming up and I will show you. What you also can use are variables and triggers. So you can, for instance, set up a variable to track a learner's actions and use triggers to create cause and effect relationships in your course. We can use this to change the content dynamically as the learner progresses. We have quizzes and scoring, so we can incorporate quizzes and scoring. We can provide immediate feedback. We can also show learning how they're progressing. We have also the option to create branch scenarios in articulate storyline. So then we can allow the learners to make choices that lead to different paths. Now, it can mimic, for instance, game decision points, leading to different outcomes based on the learner's choices. And we have also the option to customize feedback for correct or incorrect answers, or give specific feedback for a specific answer option. Learners with personalized learning experience that adapt to the input, much like game, provide feedback based on player actions. And we have also the last one, are progress indicators, because in articulate storyline we can use custom. Hi Victoria, yeah, I will show you an example of that in a couple of minutes. So hold on, and if you have questions, then let me know. So the last thing for articulate storyline to support gamification is progress indicators. You can design custom progress indicators such as completion meters or progress bars, but you can also use the progress bar in articulate storyline. Now, before we will dive into articulate storyline, I want to give you a gamification warning, because gamification is not dumping some game mechanics to your e-learning and think it's gamified. You want to tie the game mechanics also to the goal of your course and the learner objectives. So if they fit by the goal of the course and the learner objectives, then it's okay. And what you also don't want, for instance, is don't reward badges for completing a chapter or part of a module, because a user knows that he will earn a badge because he has to click next, and when the chapter completes, he earns the badge. So there's no accomplishment in that. Now you want, for instance, to reward a badge to a certain score. So then the badge has more meaning to the learner, and you have the people that, or you have the chance that people will retry the course to improve their own score and gain the badge. And so that there is, for instance, repetition. So I saw also a question of Leticia to use a progress bar. Yeah, there are several, for instance, options for progress bars, and also therefore I can show you some examples. So now it's time to dive into articulate storyline. So I will stop my presentation and I will share my screen. And if it's okay and all right, then you'll see now my articulate storyline project. Now I have here 4 scenes, and I want to start with this scenario. This scenario, and this is a made-up scenario, is something about Alex. She's a homeowner and she's interested in upgrading their home security. So the task is to ask the right questions, because I'm in the role of a sales manager, and to sell her the best home security system for her needs. Now, what you want is to be careful, and you must ask the right questions, otherwise you're likely to scare the customer away. So, for instance, if I'll preview this scene, storyline will generate it. So here is our starting screen. If I click, I see the first question. I've been thinking about getting a home security system, but I'm not sure what I need. Now here and at the right, you see a salesperson, and there are 3 questions. And now I'll have to pick the right question. So for instance, if I think that the second is the right question, I'll get feedback. This approach might overwhelm the customer, and I'll get -5 points. So continue. And if you, and now we have a next question. I'm warned about break-ins. So what you think is now the best question? Now, if I think that this is the best question, then you'll get -10 points and also get feedback. And now, in how good or bad you do this, if you have more questions, I have now only 2 questions for this example. You can make the progress meter go into green if you give good answers, or go into red if you give incorrect answers. Now, there was a question of Victoria how I'll do something with scores. Here I have a variable created. So if I go here to the variables tab, you'll see here that I have a lot of variables in this course, but I have here a variable sales conversation that has a standard default value of 10. And if you give an answer, for instance here, answer A, then it will add 10 points or 10 to the sales conversation variable. And then it also will be, there is a submit pick 1, and this will show the feedback. So this is something for the score here. Victoria, is this answering your question about scoring? There's also another option, but this is the option that I chose here. I see that some people have hearing repeated audio, and some people don't. So I'll continue. Yes, that is true. This will change uh, if you answer questions. So we'll go to red if you have questions incorrect. It will go into green if you have questions correct. So this is one scenario because yeah, you can also give the user or learner only information and tell them what are the best questions. But now he has to try for himself, see what are the best questions that he has to ask at a specific moment, and he can also get a feedback. You can also build in loops in this one, or do something with branching. That is something that I didn't do in this example, but it's also possible. One moment. Um, I'll have now another microphone, so I hope that the problem with the repeated audio is now solved. Jessica said the add value chain variable is reflected in the points visual. Yes, I can show you here up for the points, and this 10. You see that is the sales conversation variable that I'll show here as a reference. No, I will not try logging off and coming back. So I will, keep continuing this webinar for the people, who have a lot of issues with the repeated audio. This webinar will also be recorded and will placed on my YouTube channel upcoming Thursday. So if you can't follow along, you can watch the replay upcoming Thursday on my YouTube channel. So this was the first example of gamification elements. Let me see, I have another example. For instance, if you want to do something with avatars, it's a bit of corny example that I have here. I can make this a little bit bigger. But here you can choose your favorite character. Now that are superheroes, but you can also think of roles in a sales team. So which role you want to play with. And for instance, here you can say play this eLearning as one of your superheroes with their matching strengths. So you can choose Captain America, Wonder Woman, and then if we preview this scene. For instance, if I click on the Wonder Woman and I go to my next slide, and it says here, "Hi Wonder Woman, solve this question with your specific superpowers." Now you see that here also the Wonder Woman avatar shows, and you can create or set also the superpowers here, and they can, for instance, use by solving a puzzle or doing something different. So I think this is a good tip for using avatars. That using avatars, if you use an avatar, that it will also reflect the input or the contents of the course. So if I choose, for instance, in a sales e-learning, a junior sales employee or a sales manager, there has to be some other content in the course for the sales manager or the junior sales employee. Otherwise, you have only an avatar for selecting an avatar, and then it's not really necessary. For the progress bars, I have another example. It's here is a simple quiz. And I can show you how this works. because with this scene, our storyline has to load a moment. Now you have to give people submit, correct, continue, and you see that here this progress meter is growing right now. So who's the Man of Steel? Oh no, it's Superman. And you see it grows. Now let's see if I can also do question incorrect. So submit, continue, and now it stays the same, but you can also see that the bar goes down, for instance. So that's also a possibility to make a quiz, add gamification elements to a quiz, for instance, and reward users if they get all the questions correct and if the bar is completely filled. I have also some other examples, but they're outside storyline. So stop share my screen and we'll share it again. Let's see for this one. If it's okay now, you can see my screen. This is an e-learning to recognize waypoints for people who work on these large vessels and manage them to get them into the harbor. In Dutch, it's called a loods. I don't know the English word for it, but they are coming up these large vessels. In front of the harbor, they know all the right spots where the sandbanks are and can guide these vessels into the proper spot in the harbor. And these people have to know a lot of points by heart, but also how the width of a canal or a lot of other elements. So now you can make an e-learning where they have to learn it. So give them all the information. But what we've done here is made a sort of quiz with a score, so they can compare scores with each other. So let's charge. Now they can here do their theory. I won't show that for now. This is some dummy content because I have a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't show you the real content. And there's a practice area. Now, if I click on the practice area, here they can select certain locations on a map, for instance. So let's select location 1. Now, and there is now a quiz. They will be given 10 questions about the knowledge of a specific location, and they have an amount of time to answer each question. And each answer correct will be earned 10 or 100 points. So will you manage to get the maximum score of 1,000 points? So if they are ready, 2, 1, and there are several types of questions. So here there's a waypoint, where is location, and the people have to click on the specific location. So now this wasn't the correct location. They get feedback. This is the correct location, and they get next. So here is that they must know the width of this part of a specific harbor. So I know it is 110 meters. Can click OK and see that is correct. Now, and the next. So what's the turning radius at the red arrow? So here can a vessel can turn here. So what's the? I think it's 200 meters. And so they get another set of these questions. So they get 10, and then they get a score. Now here I have one question correct. So here I have achieved a score of 100 points, and I get the feedback that it's good to review theory before I can play the quiz again. Now I have in the original e-learning some of 300 questions about the locations. So if they replay the game, they get new questions, and they can so play the game over and over again to learn to see if they know everything they learned with the theory. I see a question from someone from Jeska. What program did you use to create the mapping game? And this is a storyline, so I can show you. I can show you, but I have to put it here. Yes, here's the proper storyline. So here you can see it's all in articulate storyline. So what I've done here is basically a hotspot with 4 options, or and really it's a free-form pick one question. So these are my answer options, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here I set what is the correct location. So that is correct location is A. So this one. So if you click here, it will add 100 points to the score, and you'll see the feedback. Now here I didn't. Here you see here's the score variable, and I will add 100 points to the score when the timeline starts on the feedback layer. So this is the thing I'll did it on this way. Is this clear for everyone, or are there any questions about this one? Yes. You can also use sounds on the background if the time is ticking back. So this is that are all possibilities. And I have I have some other examples. I have to restart start the browser. So this one is, and I have to pronounce it correctly, an example by Magda Verenica. It's from the articulate community. It's also created an articulate storyline, but she has some really nice animations in the course. It's a journey to customer experience at gas stations. So let's click on start. So you see here, special day for John. He's one of your customers, and we want to make him happy. So I'll click next here. And you see there's a certain amount of times John is running out of home. He has to attend the birthday of his daughter, I think. So let's go to next. You see here there are some progress meters. We have a satisfaction meter and an energy meter. And the employees of the gas station company must create an excellent customer experience for John. So let's play. Now you see this is really nice, the 3D animation, but you don't need this sort of animations in your storyline gamification module. So here Emily is the girl who fills up the cars. So what should Emily do? Now, we know that John is in a hurry, so ask John to pull up to another pump and to fill it as properly. I will turn off the music. Let me see if I can do this. I don't think. And so it will continue, although if there's a lot of background noise on it, I will quick stop it. so this is also another way for gamification. You see a satisfaction score and an energy score. I get now points. John will go and you see that the satisfaction score has grown a little bit by getting the right answers and doing the right actions. So here now I'm in the gas station. So this is also in articulate storyline. These are questions. What it makes really great here are the animations, but if you make it flat, you have questions that you must answer, and you get points for it. It's a little bit the same if I showed with the home security example, but that was really flat with two pictures of characters. Here you have nice 3D animations. It's always animated, so it's a lot better. Yeah, the animations are done with a 3D tool, and I will share. One moment, I will share this in the chat, so you can see what it is all about. I see a question from Miriam about the difference between gamification and gamified learning. I think that gamification and gamified learning are the same, but you also have gamification and game-based learning, and there are two things that are different. Because game-based learning is learning with actual games. Gamified learning is e-learning with game-based elements. Mary Jo gives also the an answer, and she's a real expert here. I've done an interview with her last year, and some of the content from this presentation is from her YouTube videos. She knows of it, so thanks, Mary Jo, for answering this question. I have another one, so let's share my screen and have meet the team. This is also one from the Articulate Storyline Community Forum. It's an onboarding course, and you can have normal onboarding courses where you have a lot of information about the onboarding. Here they have done it a little bit different and tried to gamify this module. So here you have the team. Now, if you click on a person, you learn about the team members, so you can see all the team members. And now I go to the next slide. So here there is a first assignment, and now my boss or the people who accompanies me must go to a meeting. So I'm all by myself and must answer questions about which team member I need for certain tasks. So if I click on next, here I can choose a role. For instance, am I a copywriter in this business or a visual designer? Now, let me show you. Now I've chosen copywriter. So here, and it is a demo. So you see here a description of the first challenge, feedback for your boss, review information. I can find it here, and I have to check the right answer for the right colleague. That is the right answer. And so I can continue and continue. So therefore now it's not only information, but you also have to answer questions to see if you know who you need for the right task. Now here you could, in this example, you could, for instance, also add a progress bar that's not now available, or something with score. That's also an option. So this is very basic, but it's a beginning to turn a module into an informational module to a more gamified e-learning module. So maybe someone can give an example in the chat, and we can think of how we can gamify it. I have some examples, for instance. So can someone quickly state an e-learning course he's working on right now, and we can see what game mechanics we can incorporate to gamify this e-learning course. Jessica, can you explain a little bit more what you mean by diffusing upset consumers? Yes, like changing the outcome of a phone call. So it's about asking the right questions or giving the right answers to an upset customer, using empathy over sympathy. So what you can do is where I would start is to add storytelling to your course. So what is the the story for this learner that he must do? For instance, there is you are a sales how you a support desk employee, and you have to make sure that the customer experience exceeds or grows. So for every phone call or email that you have to give the right answers. So you must create a question, a story about it. And then I think that you can, for instance, what I've done with my example with the home improvement. I'll pick it, not this one, but here you can do something like this. So you have a customer that calls, it has a question or a complaint, and with and you give some answers. There's a correct answer, and there are some incorrect answers. Now, if you give a correct answer, the customer experience or customer satisfaction will grow. If you give an incorrect answer, then the customer experience will go down. So this is something that you can David said also something, so you can do each answer shifting the customer satisfaction depending on what you said. So it's a little bit the same of what you do here. So if you have a good answer, customer satisfaction will go up. If you have an incorrect answer, customer satisfaction will go down. Now you get feedback, and if you have different customers who call, you can have different cases. And what you also can do is, for instance, unlock cases if your customer satisfaction exceeds a certain level, so that you can create a high score for yourself. Yeah, it's now a slider bar, but it could also be something with states. No, I will don't send the templates of the direct different storylines I will present. You can see in previous webinars how I built specific stuff. So for instance, this type of interactions also mentioned in my webinar about variables. And there you can see how I will set it up. It's a bit technical and time consuming, I think, for now to do it and how it works completely. I hope this is clear for everyone. So let's go back to my my presentation. What I'll have to tell you. So I have a question for you. I'm working on 2.0 version of my articulate storyline online course. I hope most of the people who know it, but I want to make it more practical. So in my 2.0 course, besides the content that is now in the course, you will learn how to build 2 different e-learning courses from scratch, from start to finish. So I'll show you how you build a gamified soft skills e-learning course and also a simulation training that mirrors a live working environment. So from the design to the implementation in the LMS for both courses, I'll teach you step by step what you have to do and how you can create such a course. So also available in the 2.0 version of my course is a free group call every month where you can ask all your questions about articulate storyline and e-learning development in general. And what I will do is each month I'll add a video breakdown of an advanced storyline interaction with source files to our community platform of my online course. Now, if you are interested in this online course, the launch price will be $697, and you can react with yes in the comments, and I will send an email when the course launches. The goal is to launch it mid-April this year. And I want to thank Mary Jo for attending this course. And if you want to know more about gamification and how to create a result-driven gamified training that learners can go and can get enough of, then I encourage you to follow Mary Jo, for instance, on YouTube or on LinkedIn. Mary Jo has also a training program where she teaches you how to build effective gamified programs step by step. So if you're interested in that, then you can go to 42comments.com. So if anyone has a question, I'm happy to answer it. So are there people that are have questions about this topic? Yes, the of the trip animations, I don't created the e-learning myself. So I think, yeah, it's third term that created the animations for the driving example, and that are 3D animations. I don't know exactly in which tool they made it, but it can be, I think it's Blender, but I don't know for sure. Are there any other questions? Yeah, that's a good question, Asma. if you want to master gamification, I think that you have two things. Uh, you can master the theory of gamification, um, but also you want to create e-learning courses. So I think that you have to do two things: master gamification, but also learn how you can use articulate storyline in a more professional way, and how you work with variables, triggers, and that sort of stuff. Question of Abril: do you find that the most gamified stories are more reliant on external assets like animations, graphic, etc., rather than complex programming and storyline? Um, I don't think every gamified course has to rely on external assets like animations, fancy graphics, or then programming in articulate storyline. It also has to do with the storytelling component in your course. Um, yeah, that's also a big component. Elizabeth, I will put it on. Uh, yes, James, the original course will continue to be available until April, and then if you bought the course, the 1.0 version, you can have automatically access to the 2.0 version. Derek, I'm still working and at the online course, so it's not available to explore right now. When I'm now a little bit further on working on the course, I will share a video about what's all inside, and I can also show the e-learnings that I've created and that I learned how to create in the e-learning course. Now, videos can be modified in Storyline, so they're plain videos. What you can do is create different videos, put them on different slides, and create branching, for instance. So you answer a question and with different answer options. If you choose answer option one, you go to slide one with a video, and if you answer option two, you go to slide two, and there's another a video. Yeah, Derek, I didn't create the example. It was an external example. It's also available on the Articulate community. So I will put the link in the show notes when I'll publish this webinar on YouTube. Maybe you can ask them where they get the animation assets from, or if they created it themselves. Yeah, I've also created courses with video, and then I've created it also in other effects, Abril, and exported it as MP4. And what I told you earlier, placed videos on different slides, and based on an answer, you saw a specific video and go back to the next slide. So it's branching two slides, but on each slide there's a different video. Are there other people that have questions for now? No questions? Then I will thank you for attending this webinar. I hope it gave you some inspiration to start with gamifying your e-learning courses. If you want to know more about gamification, I think it's a good idea to watch the videos of Mary Jo on her YouTube channel. If you want to know more about article storyline and how to do things, follow me, follow my videos, and that I can help you with stuff. So for everybody, have a nice day or have a nice evening, and keep it my LinkedIn profile for the next webinar, or register to my newsletter, and then you'll also see when I will hosting my next webinar.